뭐 코리안 헤이트 유경 콘서트 아름다운 모습인데 말이야. 그러고 왔더라고.
And then she came and said, I hate him because he didn't even look at him. He look at me and spoke in into the war. She thought.
그것은 미국 미국 제일로 생각하는 여자지 아시아나 세계를 모르는 여자다. 그래서
So
그런 글이 나오더라고.
she may be a good American, but she's not a good world citizen.
그 무슨 말이야?
Do you understand?
그러니까 너희들이 나 앞에 몰라서 그러지 한국 동양시를 얼마나 신뢰를 많이 하는지 저 닥터 더스 미국 책이 얼마나 신뢰를 많이 하는지 모르니까 할 수 없다. 모르니까 내가 안 쳐가지.
Sometimes they do things which are downright offensive in a Korean custom. They do that in front of father, all the time. But then father knows they don't know. So what's the point of pointing that out every time? Once father started doing that, then the father can't attend to the main business. Everybody will think, father is a small attention caller. We call that a small attention caller.
미국식을 내가 다 이해하는 거야. 너희들 다 이해하려고 하지.
Son father keep trying himself and say, when you're in Rome, and do like they do. But you have a limit, When a heavenly father goes to Rome, he doesn't do the way the Romans do. That's a pagan.
이런저런 전부 다 이게 그러니까 일본 사람 데리고 와서 볼 때 일본 사람 눈에 얼마나 틀리게 많고 뜻을 간다는 사람 말이야. 얼마나 많다게 한국 사람 눈에 얼마나 성분하지 수만 가지 있다기야. 그걸 알면서 참여해야 할 그 사람들의 고충, 지금까지 그것 때문에 생명을 바쳐 싸워나오는데 그것이 무시당하는 이 현장에 와서 볼 때 얼마나 기가 차고 얼마나 기가 막히는 것을 해봤어?
So have you ever stopped to think that the father coming here, the strange to all the customs and everything that, and
코리안 리더들이 말이야.
And the Korean leaders that come, and you know how painful actually their position is?
얼마나 같아, 얼마나 그 자기들이 걸어오는 길로 보게 된 비교할 때 얼마나 잘 받아봐. 얼마나 이게 비교 안 된다는 그런 입장에서 이것을 이해하고 이것을 또 뭐 이래가지고 데려가야 되는 고통이 많죠 하려니까.
Especially the Korean leader has a certain criteria. You don't have, father knows. They have. What you have is maybe local criteria, but not the heavenly criteria. They know. Father taught him in such a strict way, doing some manner is really, truly, that's the worst thing one can do. They know what it is. And they come among American leaders and they see you do that all the time. So he says to correct that. So American member, grudging inside, okay, listen to him. But when he says again on something else, then he feel bad, kind of aggravating and so forth. So what they have to do is they just not say it at all, even though what he's doing is a grave mistake and he wished it's very strong that he changed that attitude or change some things. He doesn't think anything of it, so that's why he does. If he knew it was bad, he wouldn't do it. But they have to kind of digest. They have to wait and wait and wait. During this time, it's just to aggravate them. They have to. Do you know how it is like see something which is not right and not being able to say anything about that? It's difficult.
Okay.
It's not an impersonal thing. This is a strictly, purely public thing.
미국 찾아오는 모든 한국 사람들, 미국 찾아오는 일본 사람들 여기 고충이 많다는 거다.
So as an American, you understand, if you feel some foreign feeling towards Japanese Korean, you must think exactly the same feeling and much more. The Korean members are looking at you. He's not comfortable at all the way you do.
한국 청년들은 이렇게 하라고
In the light of tradition of heaven.
일본 사람이 이렇게 해가 들으면 없는데 여기 미국은 안 들어보면 그렇게 하다.
In Korea, when you say something in the rightful way, you expect that saying to be complied. But in Japan, they do all the time. I mean, Japan, their response is very quick, even quicker than Korean. True. But in America, American people just don't understand why. Why should it be? And they won't do it unless they are convinced why. Japanese, no, they will do first, and later they try to convince himself or explain to himself. for a long time he does that, and still there's no explanation. Maybe he won't do it at that time, but they first will do. So Americans can adopt that way. Do it first.
그런 의미에서 그런 사전을 내가 잘 아는 선생님께서는 말이야. 내가 미국 사람 편대해야 되느냐, 한국 사람 편대해야 되느냐, 일본 사람 편대해야 되느냐. 양심적으로 물을 때에 그럴 때는 내가 한국 사람 편대해야 돼갖고 일본 사람 편대하는 것이 내 양심상 허락하는 길이다 하는 걸 알아야 돼.
But many occasions they came for father for the final judgment, final decision, right? I mean, it's appropriate. The American never can understand. The Korean think it's serious enough. They cannot resolve between themselves, so bring this matter up to father, right? Then what father does? Father should say, you understand him, so each understand. It's nothing. I mean, you can lead a person, you can lead a group like that. Black is black, white is white. So father has to make a final decision. That is, father should take someone's side, whether he takes American side or the Korean member side. Father feel much more comfortable many times to take Korean side because what they are worried about is really true serious problem for the future, not only for himself but for the entire group and entire tradition of the entire country. Then father says, you did it right. You did it right to take a lot of pains in remembering it and try to resolve this problem, or you already have a lot of suffering before you come to speak this to the world, to father. So father says,
선생님은 한국 사람만 좋아하고 일본 사람만 좋아하는 평균에 두는 거 아니다.
you know, one time, twice, then American members, very sensitive, no, father usually takes Korean members' side. It's not so. Father's taking the righteous persons or the important person, the persons with the important opinion, that side, not the Korean side. You know, it happens to be Korean who were more right than American. That's why he took more Korean side, not because they are Korean. Do you understand? It's a matter of principle.
그런 말도 이런 시간에서 말할 수 있는 것이 이것이 복이라고 생각하는 거야.
And did father ever talk this fashion before? No. And the fact that father bring this up in such a, which father hopes to be intimate, meeting like this evening, you must feel good about that.
미국 사람 너들보다도 어려움이 많더라. 두 문화를 붙들고 비교하면서 거기에서 씨름하는 그 환경을 넘어설 수 없기 때문에 거기서 고통을 받는 것은 너희들 신적으로 고통하는 배 이상의 어려움한테.
You must understand, father never take these things lightly because father is a person who suffered. Therefore, you know what a difficulty is. Father knows what a difficulty is. You are in difficulty, father knows. Therefore, father is extremely careful. Even though you're wrong, father's careful in saying you're wrong.
내가 말이야.
But something fathers have to say.
네 전후 협회장을 내가 참 좋아하는 것이 그거라. 어려울 때는 내가 이 미국 사람 편됐다간 완전히 모든 것을 언제나 번번이 일본 사람 편됐고 번번이 한국 사람 편될 때마다 그것을 순응하기에 몸부림치는 걸 볼 때 그 사람을 내가 주역을 저는 그거 두세 개의 문화를 소화했다고 했으니 저 사람 길르면 이 나라의 어떠한 지도자보다도 위대한 사람이 되었다 생각합니다.
Father saw Neil Salonen perform his function as a president of the United Church years ago, of course. And father took notice in him a character, a personality, that when there was a difficult problem arises in his HSA organization, like American taking one attitude and one assertion, and the Japanese member or Korean member have a different opinion, different stance, he tries so best, so utmost, very best to understand both sides, and if he doesn't understand, and if it's beyond himself, he takes the Korean side, assuming that he must be more right than American. He did that time and time again, which attracted father's attention. It approved father's approval. He said, he doesn't know now, but then...
그렇기 때문에 동양과 서양의 문화를 소화할 수 있기 때문에 이걸 소화해가지고 이 나라에서 서구 사회의 한 지도자는 세계적인 지도를 만들 수 있다는 생각을 하게 됐다고 하자고.
But then father was happy to saw in him that aptitude, that potential aptitude, that he can be the understander between the two different, extremely different culture. Therefore, he can be the fit to lead in the future,
나중에 digest
digest that two different culture,
to different.
and try his utmost best to do that. Therefore, Father concluded that he, when properly educated in the long run, can be a greatest, the leader in this country
Not the world side.
and in this world, more so than anybody Father has seen in that capacity. This is Father's observation and frank opinion about it.
이것은 이렇게 전에 이 말을 처음 하는 거야.
And the Father never said this to anybody.
전화할 때 그러지 말라고.
And, the Father simply used this as a useful example.
처음에는 누구한테 네가.
So you don't need to say that to New Zealand. Oh, Father, congratulations, Father said
한국
that.
사람 와가지고 얘기 안 했다고. 여기서 공부를 처음.
The Father never said that to Korean members. Father only said this to predominantly American members now.
내일도 그렇지만 그번도 여기 개척 시대에 한국과 일본 식구들의 도роб을 나갔다는 사실을 그는 이해하려고 했다는 것이.
So the fact that he tried utmost best to try to desperately understand something which was hard for him to understand was worthy of recognition. And Father will continue to hold that opinion.
그 무슨 말인지 알겠어?
Do you understand?
그래서 학교를 가라고 지령을 내.
So Father told him, and Father sent him to school, and then he's continuing. He probably ever graduated.
그래서 그걸 잘해서 맞았어.
Do you think Father did right to see that point and to take that point very seriously? Do you think Father did it right? Father feels he did right.
훈련을 대해서 재훈련을 시켜야 갔다 생각하는 거예요.
And then when he finishes his school, then Father will start educating him from the scratch. I mean, newly again, under the more ideal circumstances, with the better preparation of his part.
그때는 토요일에 계좌대가를 심었다.
Maybe Father is thinking, Father will assign him as the troop commander of guerrilla forces of Unification Church.
How about it?
How about it?
Oh yes. 게릴라들이 하늘나라를 망치게 될 때는 하늘나라를 방해할 책임이 내 있기 때문에 그것을 방어할 수 있는 어떠한 대책이라도 나는 생각합니다.
So as the commanding of the commander of the guerrilla forces, no matter how the enemy will try to attack us, we will always detect that beforehand and will defend ourselves the best way and offend the satanic forces to change them as well. You have to have a quick mind about the situation. You have to be very diligent.
어때?
And how do you feel? The man with such a potential, with such a personality, Father picks up as a guerrilla, the commander of the guerrilla forces, an important position to defend and promote the dispensation. Not anybody, but man with that known
요즘 하는 얘기가
characteristics.
지금 이 성국간에 우리 청일교 식구들이 감옥에 들어가가지고 형무소 생활하고 사형당한 사람들이 있는데 하늘나라의 게릴라들이 나와서 이 모든 원수를 쳐부시고 나를 구해주는 것을 원하실 것이냐? 아이고 죽으라 가만두고 보고 있는 것이 좋을 것이냐? 어떻게 생각?
What do you think? What about the guerrilla forces? That means when there are Unification Church members, very brothers and sisters of ours, now serving under the communistic prison. Sometimes they execute, sometimes they hold them there a long, long time. And if we organize some commando, go break into the prison, save him out of there, he has done nothing wrong except propagating God's words, which is our life. And what do you think? Do you think we should do that, or we shouldn't do that?
그게 종교적으로 볼 때 죄겠나, 죄 아니겠나? 어떻게 얘기해봐.
Religiously, do you think he should continue on suffering to no end, or do you think this can be conceivable, this can be done? So long as we resolve ourselves, form a strong forces, Go in there,
그러면
bring them out.
하나님을 사랑하기 때문에 길라데 때렸는데 얘 이놈의 자식아 당장 이거다가 쳐내라 그러갔나 너 잘했다 내버려 둬라 그러갔나 어디 대하
When God is overseeing that action, do you think why shouldn't respect the law? Do you think they'll do it? Or now you did it right. If I were you, I'd probably done the same. Take your comrade out. Take your brother sister out of the prison and go and quickly work some more. Would he do that?
하나님 어디 가서 하나님
God Himself knows everything what goes on. What do you think He will do? He will say.
못했다고 하나 잘했다고
Do
하나
you think He will encourage them or He will reprimand them?
정말이야?
Do you really believe that?
그때 왜 게릴라 대장식이었던지 왜 좀 더 이상하게 했어
Then why do you feel like well, he will be a guerrilla commander of the guerrilla forces? Only a person with a hot love, with a true love, a true intense love, can save the brothers and sisters from that situation. It's not violence. He's not a man of professional violence, but professional justice gather.
그런 등등 모두 원칙적인 문제가 너희들이 이해하고 해결할 문제가 얼마나 많다는 사실 나오는 거지.
There are many things which you simply didn't think about. There are a lot of other things you will think about. Usually many technical things and usually routine.
그런 목적을 위해서 내가 게릴라를 양성하기 위해서 돈을 지금 막대한 돈을 쓴다면 여기 전부 다 불평할 것이야. 불평할 것이야.
You know pretty much
선생님
on what father spends money, like buying property here, or like a science conference, or what conference, media conference, many of these things. If father decide to spend a substantial sum of money, in fact, a lot of money for the guerrilla forces, what do you think? Do you think father spending the money for the guerrilla forces, do you think it's a good spending or it's bad spending? Some may criticize.
그럼 종교적인 데서 볼 때에 종교단체 그런 게 있던데 그거 뭐라고 할까나?
That as a religious leader who does that, in the common sense of a religious community, what would they say? Those
곤란한 종교자 그런 다 할까고?
they will say, they will shake heads and this, oh, the Reverend Moon is really a headache in the religious community. Those stinking Christians would say that.
그런 것을 생각해보라고 이 녀석들아.
Think. You gotta do a lot of things before you come upon some worthwhile, meaningful idea. You must think every conceivable situation.
무슨 말들에서?
Do you understand? There are many things that may be coming towards you. You must first think to prevent that.
그러니까 이런 모든 것을 알아야 된다고. 결정할 책임자 입장은 알아야 된다는 걸 알아야 된다.
So you must understand a lot of things as a leader, because leader, you don't know what kind of problem was prompted out in front of you as a leader, something you didn't expect. I mean, the leader shouldn't have something which you didn't expect. You should expect everything.
너들이 제일 어려운 문제는 너들이 해결하기 제일 어려운 문제는 선생님이 해줘야지.
So each the American leader, when you do your best and still you cannot resolve, you always bring that difficult problem to father, don't you? Always, don't you? Yes or no? You bring the most difficult problem to resolve. You bring it to father.
그래서 선생님이 이렇게 하라 할 때는 내가 생각하는 건 다른데.
But even though you bring it to father, then you compare that to your opinion and say, oh, father, that opinion is different from mine. Then you don't act quickly, do you?
이런 걸 두고 봐야 되겠다. 이런 것을
Then why do you bring on the first place?
그런 내 자체를 부정하고 하늘 앞에 하나를 부정하고 모든 것이 용납받을 수 없는 자리에 몰려간다고 안 된다.
It's better that you didn't bring it and try to continue to resolve it yourself. Once you brought that up to father and father give you the father's opinion, that should be it. And you have to be prepared for that.
That should be, must do it.
That must be it. You must do it. So, if you reflect your opinion,
should 아니라 must do it.
it must be. And if you reflect your opinion, father will think, I must think about him twice in that respect in the future. Father will immediately.
이걸 법이 있는 거예요.
You see, there's nothing you do and which escape Father's attention. Even though you may not notice, everything you do, Father observes, and some positive things and some undesirable things. If it is serious enough, Father remembers.
훈련받을 분야가 많다. 다 됐다는 생각하는 거냐? 아니야.
So what
나가 인정하지 않아.
does that mean? It means simply that don't you ever think that you are accomplished, you are perfect, you are near perfect and near accomplished, so you probably do without Father's advice. No, don't do that. Always open up a possibility in your mind, in your room, that there's a lot of things you need to be taught by Father in person too. If you do, then you become humble, of course.
그래서
Humble person can learn many things without they expecting to learn. But not humble person miss so many opportunities, crucial opportunities
오베인 기도는 말이야.
to learn.
그 오베를 하다 보니 안 하는 것보다 많이 배운다.
And obey. When you obey later, you know you did well to obey, or else
Did learn to obey. 맞아.
you did well to learn to obey, or else you have missed a lot of important, crucial things if you didn't obey at that particular moment.
그래서
Do you understand?
불평하고 비판하고 뭐 수능해가지고 그 일을 해보는 것이 그 사람은 이기는 사람.
So before criticizing or before even complain, of course, complain absolutely. God doesn't even want to bring this word up, complain. But before criticize, before complain, just do it and then see what it happens. Do it long enough a time, many years, and see if you are ahead or if you lost. That's the best way. Don't try to convince yourself first and then act. It will take years.
Experience you can, after you can analyze precisely. 응? 자, 그래서 저 뭐인가 핸드리스 박사님은 다 아니야. 응?
That Dr. Hendricks,
다 이름 좋지.
of course, you know.
닥터는 게이는 가이 핸드. This guy 핸드. 읽어줘서.
Well, instead of being called the Dr. Hendricks, take pride in by father, the Guy Hendrick, you know, that Guy Hendricks. As a,
Which one more? Which one do you choose?
My physical father also calls me Guy.
so you want to be called by father, Guy, and you know, that has a more intimate tone than doctor.
가이를 만들면서 내가 닥터가 못됐으니 더 공부해야겠구나. 더 공부하다 보니 그 훌륭한 그대로 닥터가 되는 거지. 야, 이제 닥터.
By the time you learn much more, and then father truly want to call you doctor, and then one day father will call doctor. At the same time, he will call you genuinely doctor.
그때는 그 가이,
That'll be-
this guy, 핸드리스 가이.
Well, until that time, they will say Hendricks guy, you know, that guy Hendricks. Then you know, oh, father calls me a guy. Maybe I have a lot more to learn to get a PhD in that way. You know, so you got to get the PhD from father,
요즘은
not from Harvard.
닥터 저 뭐인가 석에 꼬분이 돼가지고 그 싫지. 같은 닥터인데.
Now he's working under Dr. Sok, and he compares himself to Dr. Sok, and he really sometimes doesn't feel so much difference between him and him.
그럼 뭐 영어도 잘 모르고 영어도 뭐 미국 있다 해도 뭐 발음도 나만큼 못하고 말이야. 글도 나만큼 못쓸 터인데 뭐 이래가지고 선생님이 갖다 치워가지고 이게 뭐야 내가 지금까지 되면 좋겠다. 그런 생각할 거라. 내가 닥터인데.
You may think, why don't I be a leader and save a lot of, you know, in between? Why does he have to be a commander and tell me to do this and to do that? Why don't I command myself to do this and to do that? And have you ever thought that way? I mean, what's the need of Dr. Sok in the cup?
Both leading and following have their challenges. And both have physical
difficulty 말고는 전부 다 I'm obeying from now. I decide in my mind. I make it in my mind always. I'm knowing only my living way. That's more convenient way for you.
The more convenient way for you is, okay, I'll just
I
listen
am
to him.
doctor. I am doctor. That's most inconvenient.
You know,
Inconvenient way.
you will feel very inconvenient in yourself, very uncomfortable yourself. Because you're a doctor, you can't listen to, Dr. Suck.
나 지금 education 리더 뭐 레버런드는 뭐 교주는 나 싫어하는 사람이라고.
And
I am not the leader of education church. That's inconvenient. Most convenient. I am a member of members of education church. Then most convenient.
This is way Father feels. Father wants to be called a member of the Unification Church rather than founder and the commander or whatever you name of the Unification Church, a top person of the
그래서
Unification
내가
Church.
어떻게 생각하는 말이야? I am an elder of unification members, so that I am standing front line. How about that?
So how about it? You're the elder member.
Convenient way.
You're the elder member of the Unification Church. In other words, you can spend a longer time in the Unification Church. Therefore, you are picked as a state leader.
That kind of means is right.
That kind of, thinking about himself is probably the most right way to think. Not because he's
most oldest members of unification. That is unification leader.
So it stands to reason. I mean, the one who has been in the movement longer, more experienced, more dedicated, sure, he should be a state leader. Not because he's great, not because of anything else.
다이강도 투나자면서 지금도 와서 배워주시면 아이고 여전히 가르쳐준 거 잊어버렸는데 어떻게 해야 돼 봤어? 지금도 그러더라고. 잊어버린 거.
Daikang, father's been teaching Daikang in
10년 동안 했는데 말이야.
tuna fishing for 10 years. Some of it he forgot, and he's asking Father again, that long ago lesson. Father, I forgot that. How do I do that?
자, 그리고 아이고 토요일 좀 패널 저와 같은 테니까 내가 고생줄에 매뭐 일생 동안 고생을 해서 고생하게 매구만 이렇게 생각하는 거야.
So the father to think the situation and say, for a long time from here on, a lot of people come to me and ask the same question which I already taught them. And father expects that.
일생 동안 고생이 후원하고.
For all the lifetime, many people will come up with a problem to father, and even though father teach them how to resolve it, they come again.
그래서 무슨
Do you understand?
그는
And father will do that over and over again. All in a father's lifetime.
3년 더 가만한 눈길을 보면 아는 거야. 태도가 달라졌거든. 그거 보고 저 하는 거야.
But even though father does that and did that, but father look at you, at the state leader, your eyes are much more straight set by now, so father's happy to see it. It doesn't wobble so badly anymore.
아, 재밌어.
And father is encouraged.
내가 통일교회 만나서 이라는 말이야. 종민애들도 하나님의 뜻을 빨리 이루는다야.
Father's acting like a servant,
선생님 이신이
teaching you.
체면이 안 세더라도 하나님의 뜻을 빨리 이루는다야.
And look at the way the father talks to you. Is there a dignity father is thinking about? Absolutely detached from dignity. Or the way the father sits, the position should be, and all that etiquette and the things are. No, how more democratic father can ever be.
또 그렇다고 디그니티를 모르는 사람이 잘 알지.
And father knows the dignity, but
나쁜 사람들 앞에 대해가지고 그것도 할 줄 아는 사람이야.
father is very strict at times.
그렇지만은 내가 그것을 주장하는 사람은 안 돼.
But that's not what father does all the time.
그래서 내가 하기 전에 너를 신장화시키라고 생각하는 사람이야. 내가 잘해놓고야 그것이 절대 욕을 번 따라가지. 내가 보기 안 됐을 때는 몇백 번을 다시 하면 명령을 안 하라고 하는 사람이야.
Father first does it, and he knows he do it well. Then and only then father tell you to do. You must take that in mind. You must remember that in your mind. When father commands you something, he doesn't command you just like that. You may think he did. No. Not ever.
예전에 뭐
So.
약간 얘기지만 48쪽 배를 떡 만들어 뛰어가지고 운전을 해봤는데 말이야. 자 이게 가만히 참다 전문가의 노력을 때 일이 할 텐데 그렇지 못한 세 가지가 있다. 이거 어떻게 해? 밤잠 안 하는 거야. 그 다음에 가보려고 또 가려고 이놈의 자식들 뭐 어떻게 패. 그 다음에 감이 와서 전부 다 뭐 프로펠을 다시 조정하고 다니니까 참 멋지다. 그러면 그렇지. 그때 그 말 한마디 듣고 잠을 자기 시작하는 거야.
You know, Father just had a 48-foot boat built. You know, that fiberglass, which is the second largest to a One Hope type boat. You know that. So most recently, that's completed. You know, that's a prototype. After that, we'll have dozens of that, hundreds of that, and the disposition all around the United States coastal waters. Father, to complete that, so went to inspect that. You know, the very day that they launched that in the water, and everything was good. You know, like Father saw that a few days before that, before they bring it to the water. But actually, after it went into the water, it ran, but a lot of vibrations. That's one. And two others, very serious, professionally, you know, that has to be resolved or else that boat is not up to standard. So Father really, really took it seriously. Father couldn't even sleep, you know. Father was that serious about that, how to resolve it. But one day, Mr. Kamiyama, so Father wanted to go out to the boat, you know. For several days, Father planned, but somehow somebody else came, and something else came up. So Father postponed a couple of three or 4 days. In the meantime, Mr. Kamiyama came to him, and reported, "Oh, Father, that vibration, you know, that's completely gone now because that was a propeller. We changed the propeller, and it's completely gone. We got the wrong propeller," he said. And the two other problem was completely solved. Then Father really felt easy. You know, he could sleep well that night.
그다음에 가보고 싶은 생각도 사라지더라고요.
And then after that, his intense, you know, need, you know, desire, want to go there and to see it in person, that died away too. He no longer feels urgent that he must go there and see himself.
서로에 대한 그런 책임감이 필요하고.
That's what Father's quality. Father knows it's absolutely different from anybody on earth. Is that once Father take up a task, Father finishes it. Do you know? Father knows even rare quality that Father has, even unto the world.
너들도 그래. 너들 주책임이 제다. 주책임에 대해서 뭘 했어? 주책임에 대고 아이에 대해서 뭘 했어?
Father say that in hope that you take attention to that. You give attention to that. Okay, you are the state leader, just like Father is the leader of the Unification Church. You are the state leader. For the sake of state, what did you do?
뭘 했어?
Tell Father exactly what you did.
주 전체 경계선 앞에 있는 집들 전부 다 나를 모르는 사람 없겠고 나 주책임자니까 알려주지 않으면 안 된다는 그런 생각 해봤어?
Have you ever thought what you should do is to go every corner of your city, of your town, of the state capital, and tell them that you are the leader of the Unification Church in that state?
알아?
Have you ever done, try your best to let yourself know to as wide a people as possible? Did you do that? Do the majority of the people know that you are the state leader of that state?
그렇기 때문에 돈을 벌어서라도 무슨 노동판을 위해서 간판을 붙이고 부흥회도 해야 되겠고 뱅켓도 해야 되고 모임을 가지지 않으면 안 된다는 결론이 나오는 거야.
So our conclusion, your conclusion would be, no matter how and no matter what, you must raise your own fund and do banquet, have a big signboard on the center of the church, and in the center, and give the banquet and give the lecture, give the revival meeting. Do that as often as possible, and let yourself know that we are there.
선생님은 3년 만에 미국을 그렇게 만들지 않는데 그게 페라벨을 문제를 일으키는 거야.
We saw Father did it in 3.5 years. Let himself know entire United States. Father let him know, didn't he? And
싸움을 했어.
he even have to
싸움을 했는데 오늘 싸움을 했다.
start on a fight. But then that kind of fight that he started is not a useless fight to draw the attention of the people. No, this is of the important issue he started fighting.
누가 잘못했나? 어른이 이제 주장하죠.
And once Father started start a fight, then unless father is wrong and changes his mind, so long as he's right, he will never stop. He will continue.
미국의 잘못한 것들이 공격하는 거야.
And attack on every issue which Americans are doing wrong now. Father doesn't just be indifferent to that. That's one thing father never did towards America. When something was grossly wrong with America, father told them so
공개적으로.
publicly. The presidency, the secretary of minister, whatever have you.
내가 모르는
When someone was wrong, father told them so publicly.
와시는 대회 때 같은데 말이야. 미국에 불이 나서니까 불난 데를 서동서를 외부에서 불나기 때문에 미국 나라가 불났으니 망할 밖에 없으니 이것이 외부에서 레버런을 불러오자는데 그런 말을 얼마나 듣기 싫다고 이 사람이 하는 거야.
And father
깨달은 거야.
Father knew very well that when father spoke in the Washington Monument, father said, America is on fire, therefore, big fire, so therefore we must bring the firefighter from outside of the country. Reverend Moon came as that capacity, and the doctor, he came as a capacity. And it takes a doctor from other countries to heal the illness of the internal illness.
얼마나 듣기 싫고.
And father knew.
우리는 said as like 얼마나 기분 나빠.
You know, because it's true, it made them even more indignant. You know, they simply got angry at that, father feels. It simply is not, how to say, it's not courteous, it's not, I mean, you simply don't say that in this kind of world, you know that. And father knew how they will take that. They took it really hard.
어머니가 그런 장래에 그런 땡기를 안 간다고 보는 거야. 그래서 너희들로 교육을 위해서 그런 게 필요하다.
But father said, with a lot of the lot of part as a part of the education toward our members, namely you, so that's the father's official proclamation why father is here in this country.
2억 4천만 원 흘러가더라도 여한 줌밖에 못 되는 모니들은 남아진다고 보기 때문에 남아진 너희들을 위한 교육을 위해서 너희들은 그렇게 해서는 안 된다고 해서
And with the lesson in mind that you shouldn't be like that, you shouldn't feel like that. This is why father said that.
무슨
And says
말이겠어?
this now. Do you understand? The 200 million some, you know, they are passing people. They don't remain forever. You know, their generation change. But handful of Unification Church members, you, father knows, is immortal. You will never die, father knows.
미래의 미국은 그래 안 된다. 인종차별이라든가 이렇게 약자를 무시하는 이런 것들은 그건 안 되는 거야.
So the attack on the weak side, that and things like that is not the right thing. It's to be on the righteous side, big or small. That's a righteous
그
thing.
바람에 너희들이 참 흑인에 대한 감정, 약소민족에 대한 감정이 다 틀렸다. 저들이 얼마나 틀렸다 하겠다는 너희들이 다 고칠 수 있는 빠른 기회를 가질 수 있다 본다. 이렇게 안 했더라면 상당히 힘들었을 것이다 보는 거예요.
So since father talked the way he did at that monument rally, therefore it made a lot of members a lesson. Also, it made our work much easier in the long run. That all this minority understood what father was doing, and so forth.
너희들 백인 순종 자체도 그래서는 안 되겠다는 거야.
And also,
확실히 행동적으로 나타내지 않을 수 없다는 게
also a lot of white members of the family understood that white people certainly shouldn't do that. In other words, we all look at American people and they feel angry and they feel offended. But at least we know we shouldn't feel offended or angry.
그걸 정당한 것으로 변명하고 주장하지 않았다면 너희들이 국제 결혼할 수 있는 찬스는 아직까지 안 됐다고 그러는 거예요.
If father didn't do that, didn't give that punch and won over that round, if father didn't do that, father feels you are not yet ready, still not ready yet to get married internationally. In other words, to receive your Japanese bride or the Japanese husband.
어때? 그 말이 어때?
Do you understand what father's meaning? If father didn't do that then, your foundation would never yet been made to marry internationally.
알겠어?
Do you understand?
내가 반대를 받으면서 이렇게 주장을 하면 너희들은 하나님의 뜻 앞에 가까워질 수 있는 무리가 됐다. 그
Father is appreciative. Father is grateful that even though because of what Father said, that something which is true and righteous, what Father had to say, but Father never regret, but is grateful that what he said, even though that offended many Americans, therefore afterwards persecution followed, still Father is grateful because you took a very important lesson out of that event.
그런 의미에서 나는 참부모의 영적인 면에서 미국 젊은이를 그와 같은 입장에 세워서 나는 희생의 길을 자처갔다. 그것이 부모의 심정권에서 가능한 일이라고.
And Father knows this is possible in the realm of heart of the parents, parental heart, that make you suffer, Father make you suffer, yet you will be assured of going in the right direction with a great result in the future. Father can, it's within the realm of Father's heart. That means Father can say harsh things and strike your butt and make you work. Still, that is a love of Father, and that's within the boundary of Father's heart.
이렇게 생각하는 것은 선생님 말대로 이거 처음으로 그런 생각하지.
This kind of things that we never heard before, Father talk in such a way, but you will more and more realize our parents is truly a great man on present day and forever.
새로운 미국을 창건할 수 있는 후대의 후계자를 형성해나가는
Like Father said, it's a brand new breed. That means no one such as you has never existed on the face of earth in the past. You're the first one.
백인하고 흑인에서 할 때
Different one.
부모님 백인 카프로 흑인 결혼한 사람 내가 만나게 됐던 당신들은 틀림없이 그런 데 머리 출라요.
When there is a time when the aggravation reached to the point where white people and black people start fighting each other, there's no way to resolve except literally fist fighting each other. Then the group of our members of the family who are married to black, white married to black, black married to white, will go there and give witness testimony. How difficult things they surmounted each other. And everyone, you don't have to speak a lot of words, everyone will understand what they have to go through. They bow down. You enemies each other, you loved each other to have a child.
미국이 망할 수 있는 무서운 이런 이렇게 내재적인 이 소인이 미국에 있는 것을 이 무리가 말미암아 수습할 수 있다는
Father knows this is just an example. There are many potential danger in this country. Very, very the critical essence in this country all the time. But because of what Father did, what Father prepared, even without members knowing, one day will be served as a crucial element to resolve the highly difficult question. The question. Do you understand? Like what we already did, Father will say, look, they did it years ago, didn't they? They got the same problem, but they resolved way ahead of you, didn't they? They will listen then.
미래의 미국이 필요한 위대한 일을 엽을 먹으면서 하고 있는 이 사람들이라네.
So the Unification Church members hope that this is a different people, they are a new breed that they prepare, not for their sake, but for the sake of this country. One day, for the future, one day that issue really arises, then Father can very aptly, timely introduce them. This is what we did. Therefore, you always sacrifice. Father know that. That's why Father prays for. So you are truly doing great things. For the sake of the world. So how is it to you? How does it appeal to you? How does it sound to you?
미국 정부에 대해서 내가 공격하는 것을 환영한 사람은 하나도 없었다.
And no one, not even the American members, when Father gave a straight punch or the straight criticism about the American government, you thought Father was very undiplomatic of Father. Oh, Father, why do you say that? You might have wondered. Well, Father, if you didn't say that, maybe you will not get so much persecution. You might have thought like that. But Father had a lot of
보이지 않는 위대한 일을 그동안에 해 전통을 만들어놨다고.
but then Father did lot of things which helps to establish tradition, which it doesn't show yet. You wait and see. More and more will be shown in the future, revealed to in the future.
I know it. I know it.
What Father knows exactly what Father is doing.
주에 가서 주의 사람들 그렇게 싸워야 되고 그렇게 새로운 미래의 미국을 창건할 수 있는 전통도 요소를 남기라고 보는 거야.
And you as a state leader, when you go back to state, sometimes you must fight when you have to fight. When you can never do that every time peacefully. When there's a fight, this fight can resolve the question.
어디 가서 내가 아이엠 모니 프로크레임 하이드 모니.
Many times you are not even you are even lenient to proclaim yourself as a movie, as a Mooney state leader, don't you?
여자분들 가지고.
Even now, how do you? Nobody is that way. Nobody is lenient to disclosing himself as I am, proudly proclaiming I am the state leader, new state leader of Mooney. Do you hesitate, or now you don't hesitate?
왔는데 선생님이 대중 앞에 당당히 문의의 자격을 가져가지고 외치고다. 뭐기다 뭐냐. 양키 스테이트 혹은 뭐 여기 전부다. 메슨스키 문의의 지도자의 자격을 가지고 외치게 될 때 대중이 환영했던 걸 몰라?
Don't you remember that when Father proclaimed in Yankee Stadium and proclaimed that he was a Mooney and what he came here for was straightforwardly this. Father said everything about himself, revealed nothing.
응?
And
그때 환영받은 걸 몰라?
the Father was welcomed by the